Welcome to the Stupid Cancer Show. I'm Alison Silberman, the CEO of Stupid Cancer. This is the second in a series in genetics and genomics in cancer care. Thank you to Genomic Health for your support in this series. Previously, we spoke with Dr. Borgen of Maimonides Breast Center about the differences in genetic and genomic testing in AYA cancer care. Today, we are joined by Andrea Guito of New York City. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and about your experience with genomic testing.
Sure. So I was diagnosed with breast cancer about 2 years ago. I was 33 years old, moved to New York, and I felt some pain on my left breast. I proceeded to have an ultrasound and a biopsy, and then the results came back positive. And very shortly after that, actually the next day, I was fortunate to meet with a breast surgeon that kind of did the full workup and kind of staged me at stage 2. So it's been 2 years, and I finished treatment in 2017.
And how are you feeling today?
You know, I feel great,
Good.
Actually. Yeah, I'm feeling really good, and in some ways better than before diagnosis, which I know is really strange. But yeah, I'm feeling good.
So how was genomic testing presented to you as your course of treatment, and how did you decide to go about genomic testing?
So when I met with my breast surgeon, I felt like it was part of their protocol to kind of just run me through the 2 types of genetic testing they do. The first one is for BRCA testing, as well as some other genes. And then the second one is after my mastectomy, where they remove the breast completely, they are able to send like some tissue to a lab and kind of do some sequencing on it and see if, based on the tumor characteristics, you know, if I would benefit from chemotherapy. Because the way my treatment or the way it happened was I was supposed to do surgery first, and then based on how the results of that came through, I would do chemotherapy. So it just felt like part of protocol when they mentioned it to me.
And so how was it when you got your results back? What was the interaction like with your care team, and how did you decide what your course of treatment would be like?
Yeah, so the way the process worked is after my mastectomy, I think it took about 2 weeks until I got the results back. My oncologist was the one that told me my cancer score, or they call it a recurrence score, and it gives you information as to, if you were to do nothing, what is a percentage that the cancer may return? And based on my score, we could determine whether or not I would benefit from chemotherapy. So based on my particular score, it was about a 33% chance of recurrence, which at the time sounded really low. But if you think about it, that's 1 out of 3 people. So that was still quite high. So at that point, my oncologist strongly suggested chemotherapy along with hormone suppression.
Okay. And what sort of challenges did you face when deciding to do the testing and then actually going through the whole process?
The process itself, I mean, it's nothing that I would do on top of just going through the surgery, which I had to do anyway. So that part I had to do nothing for. The challenging part was really just the waiting period. And there is obviously cost and talks of insurance involved, as well as just getting clearance. And so that part, just asking for the results and getting it right away, I think was probably the most challenging.
That sounds like a pretty stressful time.
Yeah, 2 weeks too long, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how has going through the testing changed your survivorship or changed your experience post-treatment or post-surgery?
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about this type of testing that I got is, so my background is in biology, and I kind of have a science background, and ironically enough, I worked in clinical trials. And so this was really familiar to me. And for me personally, having numbers to support my decision was really helpful for me. So to even know, hey, 33% chance of recurrence, and that goes down to 10% with chemotherapy, was enough for me to kind of say to myself, okay, in terms of survivorship, that's 90% chance of just moving forward and not having to worry about it. So it's really peace of mind is what those numbers gave me. Yeah, so one of the questions that I usually get from other breast cancer patients is, why isn't this genomic testing being offered to me? Or why am I not eligible to get this type of testing? And I know everyone's tumor type is different. Everyone's situation is different. My particular care team felt like because my nodes thankfully came out negative, this test would benefit me and it would, give me quite accurate results. So the one thing I would say to someone that is curious about it is to go ahead and do your research, ask your questions to your doctors, and see if this is something that is right for you.
Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for joining us on the Stupid Cancer Show, and thank you to Genomic Health for your support. Don't forget to watch the first in this series with Dr. Borgen from Maimonides Breast Center.